I think that the way that she showed up the first day, we always talk about the first impression, and I always say to all my players, like when I'm recruiting them or when they're ready to step on the field for first time, you have to be sure that you're going to show up and you have that moment and to step up on the field and give the first impression to your teammates. And I always tell them, do not worry too much about the coaches because the coaches, believe me or not, we don't have that much impact when it comes to the locker room and and when it comes to the acceptance of your teammates. You have to give the first impression to your teammates, and you have to give that first impression with your hard work. And I think that's what Lexi did the first day that she stepped up on preseason. Uh, she goes and she started running and she started working hard and it was the intensity of the practice and the intensity of everything that she was doing that really kind of like flashed everybody in the team, especially her teammates. So I would describe like that moment, this first day, this first week of preseason, like like the picture I keep about Lexi in my head, and I think that this is the picture that it took her to great 3 years here in Miami, and where she played pretty much every single game since she transferred from the University of Maryland. That hard work, that presence that she has on and off the field, and the way that she carried herself with a lot of energy. Yeah, Lexi Silver graduated with more than six championships because she won the Big Ten championship with University of Maryland in her freshman year. So in this case, this senior is graduating with seven championships, and the impact that she had here in the program and in this championship probably is similar to the impact that she had at University of Maryland in that first championship. Um, Lexi brings intensity and it brings high tempo to the field. And it doesn't matter what the situation of the game is, that intensity is gonna always be there. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard say. We can be down 1-0, we can be up 1-0, we can be down 5-0, we can be up 5-0. I don't think that Lexi understand anything else but high intensity. You play your 100% every time that you're on the field. And I think that that's probably the biggest thing that she brought to the team, not just during the games, but also during practice. That when you are on the turf, you're going to go 100%, doesn't matter what. And that intensity really broke a lot of positive results into the Miami field hockey team during the 3 years that she had here. Not just during game day, that is maybe easier to for everybody to recognize and to watch because she would be the one that with that level of intensity, maybe she's recovering a ball or she's helping the team to recover a ball that become like a counterattack and probably becomes in a positive outcome. But even or more important is like that intensity on practice days in practice days. And I mean, to have someone that you know that it's gonna just show up and it's gonna start like working hard. It doesn't matter if it's a scrimmage or if it's just a 2v1 situation or it's a monkey in the middle drill. I mean, the intensity of the practice with Lexi is always going to be very high. And I think, and I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaking this by saying that she brings that intensity in all the aspects of her life. Um, you, I mean, you see her academics and the way that she approached academics is always very intense and very focused and with the goal to really do good things and get the highest possible grade. Um, I have I have had the privilege to really have very smart and interesting conversation with Lexi about issues outside field hockey. And I always told her, and I keep repeating that. I mean, like, we know when that conversation with that meeting starts, but it's very difficult to know when that conversation with that meeting is going to finish, because personally, I would keep talking with Lexi for hours. I mean, is a super smart person that really understand things. I don't. I'm not going to say in the good way, but at least in the way that I really admire, and a way that really probably in a similar way that I see things. And I'm not just talking about field hockey. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about politics. But whatever. If you can be engaged with in a conversation with Lexi, you're always going to get something good. And so that's the way you're going to remember her. There are many moments. I mean, she was here for 3 years, but I think we built a very strong relation, and I believe that she was able to build this relation not just with me and the coaching staff, but also with all her teammates and professors and academic advisors. So it's always very difficult to just take a picture of something very, very specific. Now I'm gonna try to resume this in two pictures. One is on the field, and it was in 2018, the last game of the season. We played at Duke, and this is the game of the Sweet 16 game in the NCAA, and it was a hard game. I mean, we knew that it's going to be a hard game. We just beat Stanford. At Stanford, we traveled all the way to North Carolina to play against Duke, and we're playing there, and after the first few minutes, we really start putting it together, and I believe we were a very competitive team. Now, the picture I have for her is the goal that she scored against Duke in that game. It just was a description of the attitude, the character, and the presence that Lexi and her teammates show that day and show during the entire game. Up to the last second, we were down for 2 goals, and the team kept insisting. And with 10 seconds on the clock, knowing that technically and physically it's impossible to win that game anymore because it's 2 goals. There's no way you can score 2 goals in 10 seconds. Have never happened. And they keep pushing and they keep getting, and with 10 seconds on the clock, they keep yelling, "Let's get one more corner." They just want to show everybody that Miami was a competitive team. And I, I think the credit goes to all the players, of course, but I think the Lexi's character and presence and that goal that she scored that gave us a second wave, gave us a new belief on we can do this and we can compete against anyone. We carried that goal to the next year, and we're gonna carry that goal ever, forever, because it was a crucial moment on the on the history of the program, and it's about we we're gonna make it to the NCAA. We're gonna make it to the second round of the NCAA, and we're gonna compete in the second round of the NCAA. We're gonna compete against the best programs and against the most traditional programs in the country, and nobody's gonna stop us. And that's the picture. I remember how it happens. I remember she finished in the floor, like many times she scored, she finished in the floor. But it was like the last push to cross that line. And that was a crucial moment for Miami. And I believe and I hope that it was a very important moment for her and a moment that hopefully she always remember and stay in her mind. Off the field, any meeting, any meeting I would have with Lexi, it would be a pleasure. It would be it would be such a great conversation. It would bring such a value on the things that we're talking about. every meeting that we had, I would get a lot of information and a lot of value information about how I can be a better coach and how can I become even a better person and have a better relation with my student athletes and with people in general. She's someone that tells you things as it is, even if you like it or not, or you don't like it. And that's the way I prefer the conversations to happen. So any meeting that they had with Lexi in the last 3.5 years, even the first meeting when she come here during the summer uh, um, to be transferred from University of Maryland, and every single conversation was 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 a great conversation. It was always a conversation where like we I personally finished being more confident as a coach because I had a better and bigger knowledge of how to deal with my students. I think we have maximized her development, yes, but I think that we cannot take full credit for that. I mentioned other players like that, similar to Lexi Silver. She was always a very mature person. She was someone that come here with great values. She was someone that come here even like with a presence and character and she knew she could be a good leader and that she knew that she could have a voice. And maybe the best thing that we did for her was really to give her that voice, to give her that space to 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 express herself, to be herself, and to really give feedback to everybody, a teammate, a coach, anyone. I mean, if you ask a question to Lexi, you're gonna get an answer. If you like the answer or not, that's your problem. But she's gonna give you an answer, and I think that that's what probably what we try to do here with everybody, and it's something that I'm sure like it helped Lexi to really being able to present herself in any way she wants and at any time she wants. You get 100% of Lexi every single time. You get her full personality, her her ideas, her character, everything. Everything is going to be on the table. There is no hiding cards. I love it, and I hope we help her during these 3 years to keep growing as a person, as a player, as a student, as a leader, by creating this environment where she feels free to do it. When she feels free to say whatever she thinks, and nobody's gonna judge her. She feel like she can do whatever she wants with not judging. So um, again, I really think that yes, we help her to grow, we help her to develop, but it was not just Miami field hockey. I think that she broke a lot of these values, and she broke that character that is basically her trademark. Lexi got here 3 years ago. It was summertime. Probably was June, um, and I got a phone call from Missy Mohar, the head coach at University of Maryland, and I don't remember exactly the words, but basically Missy say, "Nyako, I have this student athlete who is a good player and even a better person, and and she wants to transfer, and I think that she would be great at Miami University. I think that, and I think the quote was like, I believe she would be happy at Miami University. She would be very happy at Miami University." And Missy is Kelly's, my wife, former college coach. So we have we have a good relation, and I trust her, and I always give a lot to her words. And in this case, I was like, well, I guess if you say that Lexi would be a good fit for Miami and that we would be a good fit for her, we should at least have give it a try. So we contact Lexi. We start talking. We started chatting by email, and finally she come to Miami for a visit. And I remember it was summer. It was not too many people here in on campus or even in Oxford. We set up a good itinerary for her, where she had the opportunity to meet with academic advisors, professors, even Jenny Gilbert, our administrator, and I believe she met in that opportunity with David Taylor, our AD. So we try just to put everything on the table and just for her to be sure that this is something where a place where she could really play field hockey, be a great student, and absolutely be happy. Um, we wait for 3 weeks. I believe she has to answer that. I believe she had other options. Probably one of the options was to stay, to keep her career, stay here and in Maryland and finish her career at University of Maryland. Uh, but then, like 3 weeks later, we got the news that she was committing to come to Miami, that she wants to come to Miami, and that she was ready to become a Red Hawk. And it was a great moment for us. We knew that we were having a great student athlete, that we were getting someone that is going to do a lot for the team on and off the field, and that's what she did. Now I'm gonna add to the fact that I believe that she was happy here, that she still loved this campus, this institution, and I'm super happy to know that her brother is following her steps here in Miami, and her brother is gonna join the Miami ice hockey team. I'm putting this on the table because I always feel very good and very proud when siblings of my student athletes decide to come to Miami. I mean, it means that that in this case, Lexi had a good time here, and it means that Lexi and her family really value what Miami has to offer, not just to Lexi, but and not just to student athletes, but all the student body. Oh yes, and I believe, and I hope maybe we can put it in this interview. We can hopefully in this week that we are honoring Lexi, we can find that picture, the picture of her celebrating our win against Boston University in 2018, first round of the NCAA. That's the picture. That celebration is one of my favorite pictures of all time in Miami field hockey program. Um, is is Lexi jumping in Mary's arms after the final call at the game at Boston University, and it's just described the, all the energy, all the emotions, all the hard work that Lexi and her teammates put in that game and put on the season and probably in their field hockey careers. It described that moment of glory where like the athlete, student athlete or professional athlete or even a 10-year-old kid playing soccer in the backyard. That's the moment of the celebration, the moment when you see like all the hard work is paying out. Uh, Now I'm collecting all everything, all the chips that I have been working for, and that would be the picture. I mean, that picture is awesome. Now, I think the picture, like I said before, just described the way that Lexi, I believe, lived her life with that level of intensity, that level of purpose in everything that she does. And like I always say, and I have said this before in these questions, like you always get 100% of Lexi in all kinds of situations. If it's a meeting, if it's on the field, if it's a practice, if it's a game day, if he's playing against Boston University or he's playing insignificant game during the spring, you're always gonna get 100%. I'm not even sure if she knows how not to play 100%. And that moment, it shows every single piece of energy that she always brought to this program. Like I always say, I always feel like I have something to learn from my student athletes, from all my student athletes, and in the case of Lexi, I think the thing that they learn the most is communication and the way that she communicates. She's a very clear communicator. Um, she is able to deliver the message in a perfect way. And when I say the perfect way, it's not just about the content of the conversation. It's not about the subject of the conversation. It's not about what she's trying to tell you, but it's how she's telling you. And really, it's someone that is has the capacity to know what kind of person you are and know what kind of words and what kind of communication she's going to have with you, so you really buy into the message, and that's a very very interesting lesson for me. Maybe sometimes I'm too straightforward, and I kind of like, talk with everybody in the same way, and I have to learn better how to change my speech and how to change my words and even my body language, so the way that I try to deliver a message, depending of the person on the other side. In the case of Lexi, I feel like she always find that way. She always find the right words. She always find the right timing, and she is part of her success is the fact that she's able to deliver the message and have the other part really buy into. I think that you're always gonna notice when Lexi Silver is around. You're gonna know when she's on the field. You're gonna know when she's in the locker room. You're gonna know when she's speaking or when she's trying to deliver a message. She brings that personality and that character. And for a program like Miami, that I always describe that it's a program that is a middle-sized program that is growing every day, and it's a program that is trying to close the gap with the most traditional programs and separate itself from others. It's very important to have personality. It's very important that people outside the locker room understand what Miami is about and what Miami field hockey is about. And you need people like Lexi Silver that is able to really express that character, that attitude, that winning presence in all the time. We always say we play to win. And when we say we play to win, we say we play to win everywhere, not just on the field, but we play to win in the classroom. We play to win as people, right? We always want to be successful, and we want to have a good run in everything that we do. I think that Lexi is a good demonstration of that statement. She plays to win. She plays to win not just on the field, but she plays to win in life. She plays to win in the classroom, and I'm sure, like in the future, she's always going to play to win. She broke that character. She helped us to bring that character up. She helped us to really bring that personality in everything that Miami field hockey is participating. Again, I'm not just talking about the game of hockey, but I'm talking about the classroom. I'm talking about any kind of activity that we do with the community, any kind of participation that Miami field hockey is on. We're gonna show that character. We're gonna show that attitude. We're gonna show that presence. And I feel like if you have ever been around Lexi, you would realize that you always know that you have a very influential person around you, and that's what we're looking for in our student athletes. We're super proud of Lexi and everything that she did for Miami. I think that Lexi is someone that is always going to get the job done, and is someone that if we have to outplay someone or she has to outplay someone, she's going to outplay that person. And the way that she does it is with love and honor. She works very hard. She knows how to work hard, and she knows when to work hard, right? And I think that the same. We're so proud of her, and I believe that she's very proud of Miami University. And I believe that she's very proud of Miami University because she likes, she respects to do things with love and honor. It's not one thing. I believe that, like other seniors and other people on the program, she lives with love and honor the day by day, not just when she's around the field hockey program, when she's at home, when she's on the field, when she's in the classroom. And I know in the future, she's going to be carrying this love and honor wherever she goes.